Hello, what's up YouTube? Rito here, Le Tuto de Rito. I am here to help you improve your English. So today, what are we going to do? Well, I am going to teach you how to speak about your emotions. So I'm going to follow the alphabetical order, okay? So I'm going to teach you adjectives and phrases and expressions from the letter A to the letter Z. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Let's start with the letter A. Angry. Angry. When you feel angry, you feel a strong anger against someone who behaved in an inappropriate way, who behaved in a bad way. For example, she is angry at her boyfriend because he forgot her birthday. Oh, that's really bad. So she's really angry. A synonym of angry would be annoyed. Annoyed. Annoyed means frustrated. When you are unhappy about someone else's attitude. You could say, Tim really annoyed me during the meeting this morning. His attitude was annoying. Ugh. Number 3, appalled. Appalled. When you feel appalled, you feel shocked about something. Let's say you come back home and you realize that the kitchen is in a mess. So I went home and I was appalled to see the state of the kitchen. There were things everywhere. Now, apprehensive. When you feel apprehensive, you feel slightly nervous or worried about something. During the pandemic, the COVID pandemic, people are apprehensive about the future. Now, ashamed. Feeling ashamed is feeling embarrassed. Embarrassed about something that you have done. Let's imagine the situation. You stole a book from your local bookstore and you feel really bad about it. You feel ashamed. Okay? You should feel ashamed, and you are ashamed of your action. You regret it. Letter B. Letter B, let's start with bewildered. Ooh, that's an advanced adjective. Bewildered. Bewildered means very confused, or when you are lost, or you are overwhelmed. Let me explain. So imagine you see your ex-girlfriend for the first time in 10 years. You could feel bewildered. You are lost for words. You feel embarrassed, overwhelmed by emotions, and you don't know what to do. You don't really know how to react. You are bewildered. Bewildered. You feel betrayed when someone breaks the trust you have in them. You could feel betrayed by your friend for revealing your secret. He betrayed our friendship by revealing our secret. So you feel betrayed. Next one is bored. When you feel bored, you're like, I don't know what to do. Well, you feel unhappy because you have nothing to do or you are not interested. You could very well say, I'm bored with my job. Or you could say, I got bored, so I left the party. I was bored. It was a boring party. Letter C now. So, one adjective that I really like is confident. Confident. Confident means that you are sure, you feel sure about your abilities. You could say, I feel confident in my job, or I feel confident that scientists will find a vaccine. You feel confident about it. You know deep inside that it is going to happen. Now, concerned. To be concerned means being worried. Let's say your grandmother gets old and you might say, oh, Granny, I feel concerned about your health. I am worried about your health. Now, letter D. First one that comes in mind is probably depressed. When you are depressed, you feel very sad, extremely sad, very down. For example, after he failed his job interview, he was depressed for a week. That's the consequence of his failing his job interview. Now, the contrary would be delighted. Delighted. When you are delighted, you are so happy, extremely happy. Let's say your neighbor bought a new car and he is delighted with it. He is extremely happy with his new car. Now, another one is disappointed. Disappointed. Disappointed means, or disappointment happens when you feel unhappy because something didn't go as you were expecting. It didn't go as planned. Say your sister failed at an English test. Well, you could say she felt disappointed by her score at the test. Or you read a book and you didn't like it. You could say, oh, this book disappointed me. It was not as good as I expected. Now, E. Ecstatic. Ecstatic means, once again, extremely happy or really excited, overjoyed. Let's talk about your neighbor from the previous example. He could say, oh, I'm all excited with my new car. I'm ecstatic. Next one, emotional. It's very simply when you have strong feelings, strong emotions, and you may start to cry. Okay? Imagine you don't see your children for a long time, and when you see them, you feel emotional. You want to cry. You're like, oh my God, I am so happy. I feel I'm going to cry. I feel emotional. Next one, envious. When you are envious, you are jealous of someone or something. Let's say your brother is very successful. You could say, I am envious of my brother. I am jealous of my brother. I would like to be as successful as he is. Now, embarrassed. Well, embarrassed means slightly ashamed. It's not that bad, but you don't feel really good about the situation. And there are plenty of situations when you are embarrassed. When you run for the bus and you're like, hey, and you miss your bus, you feel embarrassed. Or when you walk in the street and you have toilet paper stuck on your shoe. Or when you miss a high five, you're like, hey, oops, all right. You miss your high five. You are embarrassed. Or sometimes you pull the door instead of pushing the door. This is embarrassing. Or even worse, and I really hate that. You know, when you are in a quiet place and your stomach starts to gurgle when you're really hungry. Oh, it's stupid because there's nothing bad about that. It's just a little embarrassing. Okay, let's finish the letter E with exhausted. When you are exhausted, it means that you are extremely tired. You feel exhausted after a long day at work, for example. Or let's say you have been running for 3 hours. You are exhausted. Okay, you are extremely tired. All right, let's wrap it up with the letter F. Fed up. When you are fed up with something, you can't stand it anymore. You have had enough. And it's really when you get annoyed by something you have experienced for too long. You could say, if you hate your wife, you say, I'm fed up with you. I want to divorce. Okay? This is really bad. I've had enough. Okay? I can't take it anymore. I'm fed up with you. Furious. F like furious. Very angry. I'm absolutely furious with you for losing my favorite DVD. I lent you a film and I loved this DVD and you lost it. Let's finish with frightened. Frightened. To be frightened is basically to be scared. I remember as a child, I was frightened of the dark. Maybe you were frightened too. Maybe you were scared of the dark. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope it was useful. Please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel and clicking on that little bell icon to be notified, basically. So yeah, please let me know in the comments if you liked this video. If you have any questions, I will be very happy to answer. And I will make a second episode following up to finish the alphabet. That's it. So thank you so much and I'll see you later. Bye bye everyone.